man.
Alrighty.
Like you're the one torturing your character by playing him.
That's right. Well, that's what Call of Cthulhu is all about.
Yep.
Yes, fun and happiness for all.
Torture among friends.
All right, so we are up to session 37
Yep.
of Mask of Nyarlathotep. And last time, things took a turn.
A little
That's an
mishap.
understatement.
That's one way to put it. Things took a turn at Albuquerque.
Yeah. So on your way to perform the rite for the Eye of Light and Darkness at the Red Pyramid to hopefully seal off this particular area from being able to be used by the Brotherhood of the Dark Pharaoh for whatever world-ending rite they are planning to enact. You guys noticed activity at the relatively nearby pyramids at Giza. Decided to hightail it across the desert, practically destroying your vehicle in the process.
That was the first great idea.
Yep. And found a secret passage that led into a series of tunnels underneath the Sphinx and the pyramids.
That was the second great idea.
Following along, you guys encountered some disturbing things, the charnel house stench and awful mosaics that caused Evelyn to kind of lose her grip for a little bit, turning her gun on you guys.
Sorry.
You did manage to
On the ground.
kind of like get through to her, thanks to an extreme success on a psychoanalysis roll, and continued on. Deep under the pyramids, you came to a very large chamber where there was a huge gathering of cultists, hundreds of cultists, performing some sort of rite over the mummy they had stolen, sacrificing a woman in the process to use her blood to rejuvenate the mummy. Deciding that perhaps taking out the high priest would stop this rite, gunfire erupted. It took some doing, but you did manage to down the high priest. He did have some sort of protective barrier up that seemed to stop the bullets before they actually hit him, but it was ablative in nature. And a couple of well-placed shots from Miles and Eugene managed to kill the high cultist. But then shit hit the fan, as hordes of cultists and these weird animal-headed creatures started making for the overlook where you guys were. In a fit of panic, Evelyn kind of reached out subconsciously to call for assistance against the cultists to keep you safe from the cult. And in the darkness,
That was a nice idea, though.
in the darkness,
I tried.
something answered.
Did it ever?
This monstrous creature appeared, snatched you up one by one, and deposited you elsewhere.
Yup.
And as you kind of come to, kind of get your bearings, you find yourself on a desolate, arid plateau. No sign of stars or the moon, no sign of the creature that brought you here. And a very distinct feeling that you are not in Cairo anymore.
Not Cairo, not Kansas.
Definitely not Kansas. But as you guys kind of like get your senses, for lack of a better term, we will turn it over to you guys.
Hey, Chris, quick question. You say it's arid. Is the ground like sandy desert or rocky gravelly or something other?
It's more gravelly than sand. Like very dry mud. If you it's semi-solid, but if you pick it up and kind of rub it in your hand, it crumbles into dust fairly easily.
Okay.
So Alvin will repeat the question that he ended the last session with. Are we dead?
I don't feel dead.
I don't think so. None of the dead have ever mentioned something like this.
I've never been dead, so I don't have a frame of reference.
The sky is not helping.
Where are the stars?
I don't know. I hope it's cloudy, because otherwise I don't know where we are. Just must be cloudy. I could see the star. Maybe I could guess where we are.
Can we see each other,
I
Chris?
don't know her.
Yeah, you do see each other.
Okay.
So there is light.
There does seem to be some sort of kind of ambient grayish light.
Because you mentioned there was like no stars and no sun, and the sky was just gray. So there's not even light coming from the sky.
Correct, but there is some sort of like an ambient grayness.
Remind me of my Aunt Alva.
What?
The gray.
Inherent grayness.
Oh.
All pleasantry aside, can somebody just explain to me what just happened?
I think whatever was summoned protected us from what was coming.
I asked
Okay.
it to protect us from the cultists.
I tried to shoot it.
I am not surprised.
About the shooty part or about the fact that that we are safe in theory?
About the shooting, I am quite surprised about the safety.
It tried to grab me. I shot it.
Mm-hmm.
This whole endeavors just start to feel like we're the butt of a cosmic joke.
Chris, do I have my cane?
Yep, everything that you guys had with you is with you.
Okay.
Okay. So if we are alive and we are elsewhere, we just need to find a nearest city, figure out where we are, and then book passage back to Egypt.
Sounds simple enough.
Yes.
Chris, is there anything that would denote a trail or a building or anything that might vaguely hint to civilization in a direction?
You can give me spot hidden rolls for those of you who are looking around.
I'll be looking around for sure.
Not navigation?
I might try. Just give me a second.
Spot hidden or navigation, either.
No, I see nothing. Ooh.
I see everything.
For all that gives you.
I see all the grays.
At least like 49 shade of it.
That was very funny.
So yeah, Elvin, as you kind of take a look around, and as your eyes kind of adjust to the gloom, um, you do see, off in the distance, what looks like might be a spire of some sort. It could be like a singular mountain spire, but very narrow. Probably no more than the size of a good size building, and kind of scattered around the landscape, around the nooks and crags and that sort of thing. There does seem to be a large number of cave openings.
Are the cave openings at the base or?
Some of them are at the base. Some of them are higher up. Some of the crags and stuff have more than one cave entrance, but there are a large number of cave entrances.
Is there anything suggesting paths or roads in between here or there? Or are they just flipping natural outcroppings?
Just it's natural outcroppings. Any sort of path or anything would be quickly churned over by the nature of the terrain.
Well, I see shelter over there.
It's kind of early to say shelter, but let's try it.
I mean, if there is an out of the ordinary geological formation, that's our best bet to try to find something or someone.
A landmark or something.
It's that, or we try to find an eye point from which we could see something.
Which would
But
be a landmark.
if the what were you saying, Gary?
I mean, I just said that would be a landmark, and then you just said it would be a high spot, which we can see. Yeah, we call that a landmark.
I mean, usually landmark is a thing you see from afar. I was just thinking about going up a high place to see farther away, to spot places.
I'm snarky when I'm kind of anxious, and I must
Oh
say
yeah.
that this place gave me the creeps.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not pretty
I
good either.
I hope the cloud parts away before long, but we can start by walking toward those outcropping to see if there's anything there that can help us.
Miles, does this look like anything you've seen in your travels?
Miles can give me just 1 second, just adding some things to character sheets. Miles can give me a natural world lore.
Oh shoot, he's gone. We'll keep that for later.
Okay.
Chris, that's the only thing that we see that could remotely pass a civilization, that spire that you talked about, the good sized building thing.
Correct. It's the only thing that you see with the unaided eye.
And you did say we were kind of like on a crag or anything like that. How difficult is the terrain between here and there?
It's very similar to the picture here in Foundry, so it's not super difficult terrain until you start getting into the actual mountainous area.
I look back at our friendly friend with a cane, and I make a quick assessment of if this is even possible.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to want to go mountain climbing, but traversing through kind of like the foothills and the plains of the plateau, you could probably manage.
Okay, well, let's start heading out, I guess. I mean, that direction, I point vaguely in that direction, is as good as any other one.
It won't do us any good to just stay here because nobody's looking for us here. So we need to move.
And once the sky clears and we can see where the sun is, we can figure out our cardinal directions. And maybe a few landmarks later, we can figure out a better direction to go.
I mean, if we can see the star, it can probably help us determine where approximately we are in the world.
Better that than dying of thirst. Oh, wait, that can still happen.
Yeah, let's move.
Yeah, let's not think positively that way, and let's start going forward. But after that comment, while I'm moving forward, I am less tracking to make sure that we're not being followed, because I don't think that's much of an issue here. But more keep an eye out for anything that might indicate any kind of moisture or water, because that is a very good point. We are going to be thirsty soon.
And Alvin, when you look at kind of like look at Evelyn and kind of like figure out whether or not she's actually going to be capable of making this journey. Evelyn, you feel a kind of a strength kind of surge in your legs.
Okay. I look down.
They seem your legs don't seem to be as kind of like bent from the polio as they normally are.
Evelyn is mentally revising the "Are we dead?" answer.
As she should, as she should.
I mean, I assume not, but I haven't yet been convinced of that. I'm still open to being.
She'll take a few steps. We're on like a little plateau, right?
Correct.
She'll take a few steps toward the edge of it, just to see if she's limping or how badly she needs her cane.
You don't seem to need your cane.
Well, that's creepy. Uh, she's going to keep. I mean, she's not going to deliberately put on a limp, but she will keep walking with it as though she needs it.
Just in case it stopped working at some point.
Yeah. Don't want to get left behind.
Wait a minute,
Ah,
Chris. When
it's
did I do a dreaming check?
Just now.
Right. So at what point in time do we realize our lame friend, not that you're not a great person, you just have a bad leg, is less lame than they were and is now cool?
Well, it depends how subtle is Evelyn being about things.
She's trying to be subtle. I don't know. There's not a whole lot of subtlety in, oh, hey, look, my leg doesn't look like it's agony to walk on anymore.
If she starts to do the river dance thing, maybe.
No, she's not celebrating. Um, No, she obviously has a concerned expression on her face, but she's had that pretty much since we arrived here. She looks confused and it takes a few tentative steps toward the edge, one of the edges of this plateau, kind of staring down at her feet the
Are you good,
entire
man?
time. I don't think good is the appropriate word.
I'm sorry for my lack of linguistic ability.
No, no. And she'll kind of gesture out into the emptiness. I don't think any good exists here.
Is your leg okay?
It seems to be better than it was. I am trying not to read anything into that. Or question why.
Let's go with small miracles. You have your leg healed so you can run away from cultists. And let's figure that out later. Start making for that pass or those caves.
Hopefully, we can find in those caves some kind of oasis. Maybe plants can grow there or something. Like maybe we can find a spot that will give us a chance to get our bearings. Feels like our best hope, so let's get there and we'll see what we can find.
It's a
Let's
shelter,
go.
I suppose. Though a shelter from what, I'm not sure.
It's better than staying here in the open field. If we were lost and people knew we were lost, it would be a good thing to stay put, but right now nobody's looking for us, so we better move and find something.
So you guys are moving off towards the spire or
The
towards the
only
caves?
thing,
Okay.
yeah, the only thing that's out there, the spire and the caves, right? They're the same thing, no? I thought you described them as the caves being at the base and around the spire, like in the same thing.
The caves are kind of like all over the mountain faces and the hills, kind of surrounding you. There's way more caves than would naturally occur in this sort of region.
Then let's run for the hills. Run for our life.
For the hill.
I think what he means to say is we're heading towards the spire and some caves that are there.
Okay.
Near the spire.
All right. Shelter sounds like a fine plan if there's
A first step.
any indication that there are other beings here of some kind.
How unlucky that place would be if we were the only inhabitant in it.
If you walk far enough, you'll end up finding something. I mean, humans have pretty much covered the whole planet anyway.
So yes, so as you guys start to travel, after probably 20 minutes or so of traveling, for the first time since you guys have been here, and you guys have been here probably an hour, you see like a almost like a beacon, like a light kind of shoot out from the top of that spire straight up into the sky. It's kind of like a palish blue light.
I've seen sci-fi before, but Alvin hasn't. Is there anything in 1920s that would look remotely like what I just saw?
No.
Alvin, stop. Was that
Um,
an upside down lightning bolt?
That's I was going to ask Chris if that looked like lightning or was it in a straight line? Is it like a beam or was it just a point of light that shot upward?
No, it's a beam.
Oh. I
Did they open up some kind of fluid light?
some kind of a spotlight, perhaps?
A lighthouse or a beacon of some sort?
Odd kind of lighthouse.
Well, sending upward, they might be signaling for those kind of plane.
Right, it's for planes. Good eye. That means that there must be plane traffic here. Let's
Probably
keep
someone.
going forward, Alvin
There
said.
must be
Not-
someone in that tower using that light thing. So
Yeah.
at least the best.
Alvin starts moving forward, feigning no concern. He is not okay.
And I'll get everybody to give me listen rolls.
Listen? God.
Yep.
Hey, hey.
No!
I'm getting some kind of error reload application. Hold on.
Right. So Gary, as you guys
Sir,
continue,
yes, sir.
as you travel towards this now light emitting spire, you can hear from like within the various caves that you pass, sounds like a scritching sound, and something sounds vaguely like voices, but you can't make out what they may be saying.
You guys hear that?
Hear what?
It sounds like voices in those caves. It's not the wind. It's clearly saying something, but it's totally alien. I mean, I don't understand it.
Yeah, don't listen to it. Let's keep going.
Is it we want to go and see if there's somebody to talk, or is it we walk faster kind of noise?
It's kind of freaky.
Yeah.
If it sounds like the wind or the mountains are trying to talk to you, let's just keep moving.
You make me sound crazy, so I'll walk.
I do believe you heard something, but I'm not sure we want to check that out.
Which. Can you tell which direction it's coming from?
Yeah, the caves. Kind of all of them.
Oh.
was just
So
one of
let's
them.
move
It might be
forward.
someone we want to ask for direction, but all of them is concerning.
I mean, yeah, it kind of sound like screeching noises. Let's move. Let's
If
move.
the wind and the mountains are trying to talk to you, let's keep going.
There's no wind.
It must be bats. I assume it's bats. Let's not bother the bats.
Chris, Alvin is less and less happy being here.
So you guys kind of push on, putting any thoughts of what might be in those caves, kind of to the back of your mind.
Honestly, I feel like it's bugs or something. And yes, Gary just tells that because he cannot stop himself from talking at that point.
If it's screeching, it might be bats. I don't think with ear bugs.
Huge ass bugs, we might.
Yeah, I don't see
We see
huge ass
huge
bug.
as.
I don't see huge ass bug living in that kind of terrain.
So as you kind of push on, and it seems like for a while there, it seems like that spire is not getting any closer. It seems like, for every 100 feet forward you move, the tower seems to move back 100 feet. It
Oh no.
seems like you're not making any headway at all on gaining on it, until suddenly you find yourself probably within a mile of it. Just like it's not getting any closer. It's not getting any closer. It's not getting any closer, and then suddenly it's quite a bit closer.
Are you implying that the tower sneaked up on us, Chris? Is that what you're trying to give me the impression of?
It's possible.
Alvin does not like this place.
But you also see between you and the tower a lone humanoid figure, probably about 300 yards off.
Oh, it looks like there's someone. Should we start waving and heading towards them and the tower at the same time? At least Alvin does.
I'll clutch the knife that I got from the doctor's things and be totally uneasy with the fact that he's waving at whatever.
Can we see the figure as well?
Yep.
What does it look like?
At this distance, it is definitely a humanoid figure. You don't really have any frame of reference for size. It's about 300 yards away. It does not seem to respond as Alvin is waving at him.
Is it moving?
No, it is standing very still.
It's not moving, Mr. Sharp.
Maybe it didn't see us. I started walking towards waving.
We're
both
the
hands.
only other things out here.
Hello.
I thought we were trying not to attract the attention of whatever we heard in the caves.
There's nothing here. There was nothing in the caves.
Very dismissive.
I mean, that's the, that's basically all the Jew history from since day one.
Well, it was the wind or the bats in the cave. That's what we said. I
Yeah,
don't
but
want
there's
to
no wind.
Right. Well, any other option is more terrible than the wind. So I'm going to go with wind, and we need help out of here anyway. We need some kind of directions, and even if this guy pulls a gun on us, we'll at least hopefully figure out where we are. I don't know about you, but we don't have tents or food or water. So no matter how dangerous this guy can be, hey, we've got bigger problems.
So as you get closer, and as Alvin is kind of calling out to him, the figure does move. It moves in the direction of your voice.
You mean towards my voice?
Yep.
I mean, that's what we want. I start waving, trying to grab its attention.
And as you get closer, you do notice, like, when you're not making any noise, when you're not calling out to it, it stops moving.
I have concerns, Mr. Sharp.
I'm starting to as well.
How close to it are you getting?
I'll
Chris,
leave
I want
that
to be able
to
to get
the
close
game
enough
hunter.
to. Yeah, I just want to get close enough to figure out what it
Realize that
is.
it's a bad idea.
You said it was humanoid, right? So I
Yeah.
want to get close enough to make sure it's not a lizard man or whatever.
So as you get closer to it, it does appear to be a male human. A very, 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 like, wispy hair, kind of like blowing in a vaguely non-existent wind. Extremely thin and gaunt. And give me a spot hidden roll.
Everyone?
Everyone who's getting close enough to get a look at this person.
Nice shoes.
He does not have shoes.
So that's disturbing.
In this train, yeah.
So Alvin, as you kind of get closer, kind of like trying to get a look at him, and he does in fact appear to be human. Shorter than you, probably about a good head shorter than you. Very old, very like leathery, weathered, very, very like thin skin. Like you can see like not just his cheekbones, but basically all of his bones through his skin. Like the skin is just kind of stretched over the frame with no musculature underneath. But what draws your attention, and what you can give me a sanity roll for, is his eyes.
Or lack thereof.
He has no eyes.
It's tiny mouths.
Oh wow!
Um,
3 stars on a sanity check. Do I get sanity back?
and no. But where his eyes should be are just these black holes.
When I see that, I stop walking towards it, and I start walking away from it, and I stop calling towards it. I realize that it only seems to be affected when I make noise, so now I'm getting away from it. Is it still tracking me?
It seems to be kind of cocking its head and listening.
Yeah, that's what I figured. It's trying to figure out where I am by sound. Is he carrying anything?
No, just wearing robes.
Chris, robes has a very terrible connotation considering our background.
Uh-huh.
Can you be more specific? Like, are you talking about like rags or like actual like priestly robes?
Like actual robes, but not at all well kept. So partway between robes and rags.
So when Alvin stops and then starts kind of moving away from this fellow and stops calling out to him, Evelyn's going to kind of pause and grip her cane a little tighter and say, Alvin, what's wrong? Because I didn't make my spot hidden roll.
Yeah. Alvin turns around and goes, shh. He has no eyes.
Did I need to make a Cthulhu Mythos, another Cthulhu Mythos, but a sanity check too?
Nope.
Okay.
I know you're there. I know you're not ghouls. Just step forward so we can speak.
How about you? I say from from a distance and with a loud voice. How about you stay over there? We stay over here and we talk a little bit louder.
Speaking loudly will attract attention. But the choice is yours.
I look at my companions and I need some help here.
I assume we don't want to attract attention. Let's keep a
I'm
safe distance, but let's get closer. Guess.
guessing that the ghouls were the scritching sounds, maybe. Or what he's referring to as ghouls.
It's the first option help we can get so far. So, yeah.
And he speaks English.
He actually, whatever your native language is what you hear.
Oh god, that's even worse.
He definitely speaks English.
That
You,
is freaking creepy.
you sure that's
Is
English?
anyone's native tongue not English? Yeah, that was
Yes.
gonna be okay.
Yes, it's not English. My native tongue is not English. That doesn't sound like English.
Doesn't?
What do you mean it
No,
doesn't sound like English?
he's not speaking English.
No, he's speaking Yiddish.
What
I
are
don't.
you hearing?
I don't speak Yiddish and I'm understanding him, but it's definitely not English. That sounds Turkish.
This is not good. Okay, sir. I get closer.
Eugene is getting closer to not have to speak too loud because he's now afraid of ghouls.
Yeah, I think that's the whole thing. Like we're all kind of afraid of it. So we get a little closer.
Who
and
has
we
the
say,
biggest gun? Because Evelyn's getting closer to whoever has the biggest gun.
I got a
Which is
rifle in my
probably
hand.
Miles.
Yeah, Miles and Eugene both have rifles.
Yep. She's gonna try to be between them.
Definitely doable.
And while he kind of waits, he just kind of motions, seems to concentrate for a second, and like a little kind of like stool formed out of rock, kind of like builds itself out off of the ground, and he has a seat.
well, that's not good. Last time something conjured anything out of thin air, it was bad. Where are we?
You are actually here.
Yeah, aren't you?
I am, but not everything is.
I don't know what that means. Where is the nearest city?
I think I want to know where I am first.
You will find Succoman, and he gestures in a direction.
May I ask, for the trivial matter of sustenance, is there some
Now,
way until there to mm, feed ourselves or drink a bit, or
You should not need to concern yourself with it. If you desire it, you'll be able to make it happen.
you said some city name. Does that ring any bell for me?
You can make a Cthulhu Mythos roll.
That's not the role I was hoping for. Like history or something, but not. Yeah, okay. Nope. I do not have enough luck for that. That's not a city I know.
I'm not surprised. You are
Will the
Are
will
we
the
still in
star come back?
Africa?
no, you are not. You are undoubtedly wondering where you are and how you may get home, and we're hoping that perhaps the tower would provide you some enlightenment.
that is basically exactly totally that.
There is enlightenment to be found in the monastery. It is certainly an option for you.
Okay, if we're looking to find our way home, and you say that we can find that we should be looking for our way home, and there's a city over there, is that city going to help us find our way home?
There is
Like, how far is it?
a way home through Sarcoment, yes.
Are we still on Earth?
You're no longer part of the waking world.
Is this a nightmare?
In many ways.
Is that why people are not usually here physically?
There are a number of people who reside here permanently. You are not.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Like,
I am merely here to guide you. I've been waiting for some time since I had my vision that you would arrive.
Oh,
Vision.
I believe that you are destined to not end up ghoul food.
well, I like the not being ghoul food part. I don't know about the destiny part. And I don't think anyone has really answered the question of where are we? If we're not in Africa, where am I?
You are in an area. You are in Leng, the plateau of Leng to be specific, south of the cold wastes, and east of Sarcoment. Is that helpful?
Is that near Peru?
I do not know Peru.
where are you from?
I myself. I am from the great city of Ulthar.
The great city of what?
Ulthar. It's across the seas. It was quite a journey to get here, but my vision
Chris,
said
can I
this is
make
where
it
to
a
be.
can I make it a cult roll?
No, you can make a Cthulhu Mythos roll.
Oh, damn it.
Remember, occult isn't real. Only Cthulhu Mythos is real.
I know, but my occult is so much better.
We can do terrible thing with the call too, just that we don't have the right explanation.
So, the spire of the monastery will certainly provide you an avenue home, as will Sarkomend.
Do you have a name, sir?
I do not. My name is long in the past.
Is there any way you would like to be addressed then?
Most refer to me as the Seer.
Ends your vision of us coming here.
Yes. I received a vision that those who were working to stop Nyarlathotep would require some guidance.
That's one of the names, right? I remember that one.
Yes, it's one of the names. I think we might have taken a wrong left turn, or maybe we did like 4 left turn in a row and ended up here.
You certainly did if you were here physically.
There's another way to be here?
Yes, this is the place that you visit when you go to sleep.
I don't remember my dreams being so sad.
Well, there are more to the lands than this plateau, I assure you. There are cities, there are oceans, there are forests.
You said there were many avenues for us to get home, but I assume they're not as friendly or as efficient, all of them?
They are all dangerous.
But
Why don't
some
we just
more than
wake up?
others.
Because we're here physically.
You are not asleep.
Wait, so where do we go if we do fall asleep here?
You'll find that you cannot.
Hmm.
But the high priest, who is not to be described within the monastery, will be able to assist you. The price will probably be quite steep.
Did you pay with your eyes?
No. And now that you guys are closer and conversing with him, everybody can make a spot hidden roll. He is doing his best to kind of keep his eyes from like focusing on you.
What eyes? I'm not making any rolls tonight.
What eyes? Those are nice shoes.
Oh no, I got that wrong.
Right. So Eugene, you do happen to catch his eyes, and you can give me a sanity roll.
Oh no.
Oh,
Wow.
It looked
Oh,
good on
wow.
the first 0, but the second one was not a good thing.
Oh, dear.
Womp, womp.
right. So you're going to take 6 points of sanity loss,
Yep.
and give me an intelligence check.
This is one of those, it's better to be dumb, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I did not understand what I saw.
Oh. I'm going to need you to give me a con check.
Oh my. That can't be good.
Sanity, intelligence, con. I'm really curious.
I'm better at con than intelligence, so
All right, you succeed. So as you kind of like catch his eyes, like he's trying his best to like avoid looking at you. But as you kind of catch his eyes, it's not just that there's these black holes where his eyes should be, but they are like bottomless pits of just like Vanta black dark. Like they are so dark that they're absorbing the light around it, sort of thing. And you almost find yourself losing into it, and you literally feel your heart skip a beat. Feel a little bit of a tightness in your chest. But the good news is you don't have a heart attack.
Did he
nice.
just look into infinity?
Eugene kind of grasps at it as himself, and he looks away from his eye, like, and keeps his eye looking up toward whatever else they're looking at him, and take a
Evelyn.
deep breath, like a. Okay.
Evelyn's gonna move closer to Eugene.
Is there anything about all of this, or about this creature that comes from what was written in the books of Nolans?
No.
Okay.
No.
Since he's the lord of nightmares and dreams, I thought it might have a link.
So, the high priest who's not to be described is one avenue.
Since you're here to help us, guide us, what's the best avenue?
You said the high priest might ask for too high of a price. Is there a
The
better way?
city of Sarkomend has a set of stairways that lead down to the underworld. From the underworld, you will be able to find ghoul tunnels that will lead you back to the waking world.
That does not sound better. Look, I don't know a lot of things, but to me, that doesn't sound better. Does that sound better to anybody else?
It sounds physical, which
And
here might be better.
You said that if we wanted food enough, we would get it.
yes,
Is it because we're dreaming the food?
yes. Those of sufficient will are able to manipulate the world.
That's
What's the limit
fantastic.
of that? What's the limit of that?
It depends
Well,
on
you're
your strength of will.
well, you guys are brilliant. How about we just make a door out of here? He looks over to Evelyn and
That's a bit of my question. Like, what's the limit on what we can do with that?
Depends on how long you wish to take. The greatest dreamer the world has ever known built an entire city over decades.
We don't want a city, just a doorway.
A doorway is easy to make. A doorway that connects to someplace meaningful is much more complicated.
That sounds more like what we need.
Arkansas.
It is doable with time.
Arkansas is not meaningful.
There is also a way to the steps of deep slumber in the enchanted forest. But that is across the sea. It is a journey.
And I
How
assume this sea is the dangerous thing to cross.
It is not without its perils.
So if every way is dangerous, is the best way just the way that's closest?
Depends whether you value.
Is time flowing at the same pace?
There's no way of knowing what the high priest may require of you. The ghoul tunnels are a known commodity.
and I suppose once we speak to the priest, there's no turning back if the price is too high.
Depends what sort of mood he's in. There are those who have gazed upon the priest and fled with their lives.
Right. This seems like another person sitting on a throne somewhere, which we want to avoid.
Does sort of have that feeling.
I'm just going to activate this scene just because I think it's a very cool map.
Um,
So I'm going to suggest that we go through the ghoul tunnels. As long as
Eugene's just gonna close his eye and try to imagine an oasis with food, fruits, things, and just try his hand at like dreaming something up.
Okay. So yes, on your character sheet, you actually have a skill called Dreaming. You can make a roll.
Oh, there is. Is that new? Was it always there and I never noticed?
No,
What?
No, it's new.
you get it the first time you enter the Dreamlands.
Ah,
I'm curious if we all have the same percentage.
Starting percentage is based off your power.
holy Eugene. 75%?
Yeah.
I suppose I've used a bunch of my power casting things I probably shouldn't have cast.
No, I cannot spend 30 luck on that. I have 50 luck left.
So we have to will something. Is that what I heard?
Yeah, I try to focus, but I can't. I think we can change things around us a bit. Uh, is that what happened to your leg? Did you want your leg fixed?
Not
Miss Collins?
consciously.
I wanted her to be able to navigate the terrain we were going through.
Maybe if we understand how we can do those things, maybe we can make ourselves a way back home. Or make the way back home safer.
Let me try something. Chris,
Please do.
I'm going to try to dream a map. Nope. Yeah, it wasn't me.
I tried to focus on getting us water and food, but didn't manage.
What food did you try to see?
An oasis, water, dates. Uh,
Let's try if we see something more precise,
Like
like
a hamburger?
a water skin and a hamburger. I mean, why not?
and maybe an instruction manual for this place.
Well, I tried to imagine a map, but that didn't work.
Can I
Maybe
try?
harder to imagine something you cannot visualize.
Yeah, can I try to roll for that hamburger and that water thing?
Certainly can.
This map you've provided is just for OOC for us, right? It's not. We don't have a thing.
Correct. You don't have an actual map.
Okay.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
just have to be precise.
So yeah, so Gary kind of concentrates for a moment. And yes, gets a water skin and a hamburger.
Give the hamburger to the kind sir, and I offer drinks of water to everybody around. And I feel like the king of the world.
Wow, this is handy. This place is handy. If we can conjure anything, we can dream. You
I'm
said
kind of
somebody
afraid of your dreams, Eugene.
You said somebody dreamed the city, the whole of it.
Yes. Several of the cities actually were created by powerful dreamers.
I'm more disturbed that we can do things to others with dreams.
There are ways to defend against it.
Of
Are
course,
you
there.
really here to help us?
I am here to provide guidance.
Chris, I'm rolling psychology.
Sure.
Nice.
He is. He seems to be honest, but a little reserved. He's definitely holding back something.
Why are you supposed to be providing us guidance?
I was granted a vision that those who are working against the Nyarlathotep would arrive here. I've been waiting
And
for several days.
What's your stance on Nyarlathotep?
Mm. He is one of the few that holds any sway over this land. The others, those that he serves, do not care about this place.
So Nyarlathotep has reach here.
He meddles.
Are we safe from here? From him here?
You are probably safer here than you would be elsewhere. His reach is limited.
that's good.
And for Evelyn and Miles, now that you guys have been here for a little bit, and to Alvin to a lesser extent, those little phobias and tics that you have picked up don't seem to be present.
Well, it's hard to be afraid of animals when there aren't any. But good to know.
I want to understand this place. Should I dream about understanding this place, or should I dream an instruction manual to explain me how it works?
It is as understandable as dreams are.
Oh,
There's some rules, there's some way things are organized here. Even if those rules were made by other dreamers,
There
there are
are
some kind of function to things around here.
most of them apply only to those who are visiting from the Wiccan world, not for those who are residing here.
oh, I don't think we plan to reside here.
How does one become a resident here? I'm not applying. Just if I eat the pomegranate on the table and I become stuck here, I want to know if that's a thing.
No, most who reside here were either born here or chose to live here when their earthly time ended.
Oh, there is something after that.
People can be born here.
Yes, for several thousand years now.
Oh.
Okay, but
Are
the way back is through the gold tunnels in the city.
It is one avenue. It is undoubtedly safer than dealing with the high priest, who is not to be described.
I don't
Why
feel
isn't he
safe with the
supposed to
high
be described?
priests.
Sorry, what was that?
Why isn't he to be described?
That is what he's called.
Yeah,
He-
that's what I suppose. It's the ice priest who should not be described. That's his name.
and everybody can give me Cthulhu Mythos rolls.
I don't wanna.
I'm gonna go mad again.
I'm still pure.
Oh, I'm saying.
But yes, I am often referred to as the seer with no eyes. He is referred to as the high priest who is not to be described. You'll find that many people of import have titles rather than names.
Do you know why you have your vision usually?
Usually matters of import. I am capable of bringing upon a vision myself. It is a way to pay for my lodgings.
And were we? Did you see us to pay for your lodgings, or did you see us because we're of some kind of importance?
While I would gladly take your coin, I did not come all the way here from my home and wait for several days for the price of a warm meal.
I
And
think some people have vested interest in us slowing down or stopping the rise of Nyarlathotep.
For all that this land is separate from the waking world, they are also intrinsically connected. If there are no dreamers, this land will cease to exist.
but people are born here.
But they are not dreamers.
So dreamers keep this place in existence,
Yes.
and people who are born here don't sleep, so they don't dream.
They rest.
So they're not part of existence?
I mean, not. They wouldn't be, would they?
I assure you, everything here is as real as in your world, at least to those who reside or visit. The ground is solid, and he kind of like stomps on it. The air is breathable. The people go about their lives. The trade ships ply the trade routes. The miners dig ore. The bakers bake bread. This world is very real. But without the dreamers in the waking world, it will not exist. And I believe that is why I was given my vision.
Does Noden hold dominion here?
No, he is not one of the old gods. There are temples to him. I believe there is a temple in the underground.
Yeah, he has a link to Nightmare, so I was wondering.
His domain is the underworld. You will have to travel through it to get to the ghoul tunnels.
That's what I was going to ask. Okay, so let's start. If our way forward is through the ghoul tunnels, let's get there.
Is there something we can do to be as safe as one can be on those tunnels?
You could arrange to meet with the ghouls. You could speak with them. They are not all ravaging monsters.
And are they speaking a language that we would be able to understand?
Some of them will. If you find Shagab, um, he's reclusive, but he is quite highly regarded amongst the ghoul society.
Wait, aren't you supposed to help us? Can't you be our guide through this?
I am guiding you.
I feel like lots of the tools we need and the way to find, we need to make them ourselves. But he's giving us the tools we need to know how to do that. I feel.
Yes, on the shore of the Sea of Bones is where Shagab resides. If you are respectful of him when you come to visit, he will be cordial, and he is well respected amongst the ghouls.
I might have a difference in names, but ghouls from where I'm from are creature prowling cemetery to eat the deceased.
Yes.
But
Well,
he
that's
is
great.
a very nice one of those, you say?
I mean, they certainly don't look down upon you for eating the flesh of dead animals.
What I mean is, they've been known to attack, well, the legend tells us about them attacking the living. I want to know if we'll be able to talk with them or if they're going to attack us to eat us.
I would suggest remembering your manners.
I will try to be as polite as can be.
And this Shogal guy is apparently well mannered for a ghoul.
Yes, he has been alive for several thousand years.
Uh, I can shake the idea that you said something about or coming was foretold. Is there anything here that would help us fight Nyarlathotep?
I don't believe so. Perhaps sometimes it is knowing that you fight for more than what you think. Perhaps it is an avenue of respite for those of you who have been afflicted. And he kind of like nods at Miles and Evelyn, without showing his eyes, but kind of nods to them.
If we find a way out, is it a way back in?
Yes, it would be a physical portal.
So if somebody needs respite, as you say, we could just take the way back here.
The ways of travel are not without peril.
Yes.
And I would think it really depends on where that opens up in the physical world.
Can't we just find a sleeping person and then hold on to them and make them wake
Mm, They will wake up. They will disappear.
Alvin looks at Evelyn saying, "This is your thing, right?"
Oh, this is quite different than my thing.
I was so about to do the same thing.
This is a land of dreaming, not the dead. But I can try.
Does the spell we've discovered come from here?
Which spell?
Well, there was one called something that brought us here.
I do not know.
That was a
here.
creature that I summoned brought us here because it thought it was safe. At least safe
it
from
was-
certain people. And I suppose it is. They aren't here, but
If we
it's not
learn
what we
something here,
expected.
could we use it to fight the crawling chaos in the world?
I'm certain if you find such knowledge, you are here physically, there'll be no danger of you forgetting it upon awaking.
And would that kind of knowledge be in the city you spoke of?
Perhaps. There are great libraries in the cities.
Do you have any other suggestion for us to look for?
If you are here for some time, I would suggest visiting a larger city. Althar or Calpheus would have access to great amounts of information.
Altar Colface. Eugene's gonna get his little book out and take some names down.
And where's that?
They're both across the sea, on opposite sides of the Middle Ocean.
Of course they are.
We really need a map of this place.
Where are we now exactly?
Yeah. And he will reach into his into like the sleeve and pull out a map for you.
I was about to try again what Alvin suggested, but it's very kind of you. Does the landscape change?
No, the landscape is fixed. Very powerful dreamers, millions of years in the past, fixed the land.
What
And
exactly?
what? Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just wondering what makes a dreamer powerful.
The ability to just shape the world up to their will. It is one thing to
So
create
it's-
food and water. It is another thing entirely to create a city. It is something else entirely to create a world.
A world? Are there world eaters?
He kind of gestures to the area around.
I mean, their concurrent landscape. I mean, is there like world within world?
Perhaps. That's a question for philosophers.
Okay. Um, should we discuss with this Gordlu to secure safe passage through the tunnel?
Yeah, it's the only way out.
I assume it would be more polite than just sneaking our way in. And being polite seems to be important with the Jews.
As it should.
Well, I'm trying to adapt to the local culture.
No, no, no. I
This,
totally. I think the same as you.
this is not how my Mima described the ghouls when I was a kid. It was a cautionary tale to stay away from cemetery. To let the dead rest.
Right, so we're heading to town, speak to the ghoul, and then go to the ghoul caves.
You said he was usually near the beach?
The beach of bones near the sea.
Yeah.
The Sea of Bones, yes.
To
Thank
be
you for
clear,
your.
that's a description, not, excuse me, that's a name, not a description, right?
You will find that many names are descriptive.
Well, thank you for all of these information that we'll have to digest somehow.
We could do anything, go anywhere here. I'm trying to grapple with all that stand before us.
I mean, we're trying to stop a cosmic evil. Now we're in the land of the dreams.
Yeah,
Ah,
just that I've been so sure that the key was finding the right knowledge to unravel his influence. Here seems to be everything. Every tools could be here, but we also need to find a way back home.
and it's gonna be a hell of a hungover.
Does the time pass at the same speed from here to there?
Yes,
So all the time we spend here is time that goes away in the real world.
correct.
So we still have some. We're still on the clock.
Yes.
So, Blind Seer, the town is in that direction?
Yes. And he'll point it out on your map.
And the beach where we can find that well-respected ghoul would be.
It is in the underworld. And he'll kind of like flip over your map.
Of course
Oh,
he does.
that's what you meant by the underworld. That's where Nolden is?
There is a temple to Nodens there, and that is his realm.
Oh. I thought I had more misunderstood Nolden than I did, but it's still part of the land of the dream.
Yes.
Oh.
But
Anything we should be aware, make be careful about while we travel?
there are many dangerous creatures. If you have not had a treaty with the ghouls, be careful of them. Be careful of the men of Lang. Be careful of the spiders. Be careful of the moon beasts. Be careful of the cats.
Did you say the cats?
Yes.
Is the sky safe?
Be careful of the Shataks. If you venture too far into a cave, be careful of the Shoggoths.
Is the sky safe?
Except for the Shataks.
Flying creature?
Yes.
I'm trying to think of a vehicle for us to travel. I was wondering if I should keep to the ground or make it something that flies.
Oh, you want to dream a car?
Yep.
That is the less crazy thing I heard today.
Uh, Eugene is gonna try again. Close his eye, try to picture everything, and yeah.
Be precise.
Yeah, I have a make and model in mind, but out of game, my player does not know cars. With a full tank of gas.
Eugene is just way too literal.
There's something I'm doing wrong here. What am I doing wrong?
Maybe you don't do nothing wrong. Maybe you're just not. You're so focused on doing something right that you're not doing it properly.
It's hard to relax in this plains. This place is unnerving.
Yes, but you kind of have to.
Yeah. Just give me a minute. Eugene,
Chris,
sit down.
Yep.
while he's doing that, Evelyn is going to try to dream up the door back to her hotel room.
All right.
No. She's not going to say anything, but she'll close her eyes and kind of concentrate for a moment. What are some of the things that the priest has asked for in the past? Do you know?
I do not know. I do know that those who are wise do not go to the monastery.
Oh, that's good to know.
But it may be your quickest route.
I'll try to think of a car to.
Eugene is sitting on the ground. He's trying to, maybe I'm being too serious for the dreamland. Try to put some whimsy in my imagination.
Here's your car.
Gary's just a god here.
Here's your car, man.
You know what they say? Some people are more powerful than other, better dreamers than others, right? It's just the way it is.
Oh yeah.
So Gary concentrates, and he does bring into being like a kind of like an old jalopy.
That's still special.
Wow. That's impressive.
It's way more impressive than my bar mitzvah.
Yeah, so this I mean it's a very very kind of stylized, almost like surreal-esque type of jalopy. But it is an actual car.
Um, wow. That should be faster than walking the entire way.
Do you want to drive? Please don't crash it.
I really kind of do.
Have you ever dreamed of driving a car?
No, because usually I get to do it in life. I've never had to dream about driving a car.
Uh, Oracle, Mr. Oracle with no eyes. Is that how you say it? Do you need a lift to somewhere? You need us to drop you somewhere?
I will make my own way, thank you.
You aren't coming with us.
I am not going into the underworld.
That's yeah.
That sounds like the voice of wisdom.
Were you a physical person once, or were you born here?
No, I was born here. My mother was a dreamer from the waking world, and my father was a fisherman that she met during one of her trips here.
Oh. So
Alvin's
you've
gonna
never
be a little quiet because he's completely in over his head. Like he's tried to.
been to the waking world then?
I have not.
Is there anything you would appreciate we do for you?
No.
You have been of great assistance. I would offer at least my thanks.
Thank you. I wish you luck.
I'd wish us luck too, but I think maybe I should just stay quiet. Given where wishing got us last time.
Oh, it got
Is
you
there
here.
anybody specific? Is there anybody specific in town we should look for?
You will need to find the staircase, the great staircase.
Okay.
Where is that?
I do not know.
Oh. Just somewhere in the city.
Yes.
Which city?
Sarcommand. With your conveyance, you should get there quickly.
And it was called what again, Chris? The Great Staircase? Grand Staircase? Something staircase?
1 second. It is called the staircase to the great abyss of the underworld.
Not ominous at all.
Lovely. That's not ominous. Nope.
We kind of live in an ominous world.
We do currently.
We apparently sleep in one.
Or don't.
Would someone will a coffee?
I'm gonna manage to will something into existence at some point.
I would love to will a coffee into existence. That would be absolutely lovely.
Alvin is a real world kind of guy.
Alvin, you find that you cannot. You try and you try, and your will is there, but there just seems to be not enough. Not enough.
Pylons.
Basically, not enough will to power it. You envision the coffee, not enough will to envision it. Basically, manifesting things takes magic points.
Why do I have 0?
Because you fixed Evelyn's leg.
Oh. Uh-huh.
And magic point comebacks over time.
Let's
I do
hope
not
so,
know
because
that
I
in
spent
character,
it.
so I'm gonna be stupid about it for a while, but eventually I'll understand how things work.
Man, let's hope so, because I spent some on a hamburger.
But it's the hamburger of your dreams.
Literally.
Literally. So the staircase to and the city of Sarcommand
Yes.
is in which direction?
He'll point in the direction.
All right.
Yeah. I'll try to align the map that he gave us. Okay, this makes sense. I say this with as much conviction as I can muster.
All right.
Is there any kind of landmark in that direction at all?
No.
Because there are no roads that we've seen. No east, west, no stars to guide us, no moon, no sun. Great. That's great.
Not without its perils.
Mm,
We have a map.
for all the good it does us. But yes, we have a map. All right. Can anyone else think of a question that we should ask? What was the ghoul's name again?
Sorry, the old ghoul?
The one we need to speak with, yes.
Yeah, the gentle ghoul.
Started with a C.
Start with a
Yeah, it was not Paul.
Shaggob. Shuggob.
I knew a Shagab once. He was from New Jersey.
And we need to ask him for permission.
Basically, he is well respected by the ghouls. If you plan to travel through the ghoul tunnels, you might want to make some friends.
And they go through the tunnels to the waking world.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't know where in the waking world.
Nope.
Might know.
One problem at a time.
Or when. We don't know when in the waking world.
That is kind of sad thought.
I mean, we
Same
could be.
time pass at the same speed here and there.
Did he?
I asked
Did
him that.
I lose focus at some point?
I did
I
ask him
apparently.
that.
Thank you. I missed that part of the conversation. That's a relief. I think.
So we start heading in that direction?
We should, yes.
All right.
I can't
Go.
think of anything else. What do ghouls look like?
They look like humans with kind of rubbery, dead-looking skin, long claws, fangs. Generally naked.
And what other types of creatures are we likely to meet in this city?
I remember he said moon beasts.
Moon beast
Yeah.
would probably be the most predominant.
What does a moon beast look like? Just so we have the opportunity to prepare ourselves and not start screaming.
That would be unpolite.
Hmm.
Seeing if I can find a description of them someplace.
I'm assuming it's some kind of werewolf?
Or 1 second. Grab a picture for you. Since they can't... Well, I suppose they can sort of be described. They are kind of large, very large toad-like creatures with a bunch of tentacles where their face should be, and long claws.
So not at all like werewolves.
Not at all like werewolves, and definitely distinctive.
Definitely something someone that probably would have screamed at seeing for the first time. Yeah. Oh, that's not at all what I expected.
That would be unpretty.
Is there a picture I missed?
Getting it now.
No, just Chris's description right now. Oh. Oh. That,
Of course.
again, is
moon
not
beast.
at all what I expected. Kind of like if the moon uncurled and the middle of it was made of nightmares. Okay.
I just don't have anything to say about that.
Well,
And those are the people, the nice people who lives in this town, and that we should speak to.
Well, the city is largely in ruins, so you will be unlikely to find people to speak to. But the stairs are
Okay.
intact.
That's
Wait.
kind
So
of
when you
city.
said there was a nearest city, you meant like the buildings not an actual like living city.
We were not precise.
Oh, the city might be alive. That's
So that's why you suggested the other city if I was seeking knowledge.
Correct.
his legs have an awful lot of joints.
Can I dream something I don't know?
No, you have to be able to envision it.
But could I dream a book that has knowledge in it that I do not have?
No.
Okay.
There's a reason why the car you have is fairly shitty, because Gary doesn't know a lot about cars.
And why we
Ah.
couldn't dream a map. Because we have no idea where things are.
That's why Evelyn's leg works so well.
Because you
Because
have a
Wait, no,
leg.
not at all. Because I have a leg.
Alvin doesn't know what it's like to be half paralyzed by polio. Yeah.
Okay, that explains things better.
That's yeah, those are a lot of joints. Limbs should not bend like that.
I don't think any of those are joints. I just think they're bends.
Maybe. Seems awfully symmetrical. Okay.
I
Did
I
you
could
just
not.
call the amorphous moon beast symmetrical?
I mean, the joint placements are.
There have been so much creatures in the waking world that were not supposed to be there. I was hoping I could make something that would help us fight them, but I don't know how to make that in the waking world, so I cannot make it here.
A sword.
Or dream a big ass lion.
Don't the two of you have guns, you and Miles?
Yeah, it's not the best against sphinx-headed creatures and invisible stalker beast and
Uh,
True.
excuse me, sir. Why must we be wary of cats?
What?
Yeah, I
you've
just
been
remember that you have to be wary of cats, and I just want to know why.
Because cats are powerful. And he just kind of leaves it at that.
Okay.
That is the most terrifying things that you've said all night, Chris.
I knew there was something up with those little guys.
I have a
There must
terrible
be
feeling that they exist in both places at the same time or something. I can see back and forth.
That's why cats always staring at the wall, because they're looking at
Yeah.
someplace.
Yeah. That would explain a lot. I can't think of anything else that we should ask.
Neither do I. I mean, I'm kind of overwhelmed.
A little bit. Yep. I'm kind of concerned about why that storm looks so very terrified in the middle of the ocean.
that sword.
Storm.
The storm.
Oh, yeah, he's having a bad day.
Like that's ominous. But even the storms are afraid.
Oh,
Maybe it's
one of
time
the
to get back to
cities
land.
one of the cities suggested I go is in the middle of the ocean.
Oh,
Seranians?
He means Atlantis.
yeah.
Is it in the middle of the ocean or is it on a cloud?
It's hard to tell. It looks like there are mountains. It might be very, very high mountains. You need a balloon to get up to them.
Did
So we're heading to
everything.
the town.
We are. I have no idea where it is on this map, if it is on this map.
It's Sarcommand here,
Oh, look at you
and
knowing
we're
where
in
we're
the
going.
plain of Lang here.
Plain of Lang. Yep.
So as we're driving, I asked the question out loud. Are the things that we do here, can we take them back with us if we're physically here?
I think so.
I don't know.
Does that mean Evelyn can take her legs back?
I doubt it. My guess is that because he said he couldn't go, and that the dreamers can't go to the waking world, and I'm guessing it's because they don't have physical reality. And I'm guessing that neither do these very functional legs. Thank you. This is very strange.
Chris, how do we avoid getting lost? Heading south.
Navigate with us.
Navigate by what? There are no stars.
We have a map.
We have a map and we have a pillar that I assume we're driving away from. And as long as it's behind us,
Yeah,
as long as it's behind us, we're good.
there are
Maybe.
two things we have. Clearly more than enough.
I mean, give me a city map and 2 street corners and I'm fine. But there are no corners here because there are no streets.
So yes, whoever is
I-
navigating can give me a navigate roll.
I volunteer someone
I'm
who has more
driving.
than 10 in navigate.
Yeah. That's my dilemma too. I'm hoping that like maybe Miles can navigate. He's the big game hunter who goes on these kind of expeditions.
Eugene is sitting back in his seat and just trying to figure out how to dream thing.
Valid.
He seems very interested in all of the world.
So yeah, if Miles would like to give a navigate roll.
I mean, now that we're sort of getting our bearings, look at that. And on a 35. Holy cow. Dude. Now that we're sort of getting used to the rules of this place and have an idea of where we are and what we'll be facing and encountering, I feel better about it. I don't think I would want to remain here, but it isn't as horrifying as it seemed at first. Granted, I may change my mind once we see the staircase and the
Moon beasts.
yes.
I'm
He
I'm
didn't
gonna
tell us
be
how big they were, did he?
He did not.
Yeah. Could be a mile high, could be the size of a toad. I'm not sure which is worse.
I'm gonna be completely honest with you all. I had heard story about the place. Not under those name, but this place fits with the story I've heard.
The story you've heard of what? A
It
place
might,
where nightmares are real?
yeah, kinda, but it might be the underworld part of the Dreamland that I've heard of. Where we're going, by the way.
Well, if it's an underworld like a land of the dead, then that wouldn't be so terrible.
Seems to be
If
the
it's a,
underworld in the sense that it's under the world.
that's sort of what I'm wondering. It
But
does seem odd.
let's say that this place was described as a haven and a land of promises.
A land of what?
Promises.
I could see that. Not
Through the
sure.
years, I've revealed some lies that were told to me about lots of things by the people who talked to me about this place. So I will not take anything I know at face value. But let's say I'm very curious of a lot of things.
I'm curious about things too, but I think I'd rather be curious in the waking world.
Chris, with a
Yep.
hard success, how long does it take for us to find the city?
It's going to take you a couple of hours. You don't get lost though. Miles is extremely skilled at navigating out in the middle of nowhere.
And we don't get sleepy either?
You don't get sleepy.
Oh,
What I mean by my interest, Miss Collins, is just that I think we should keep tabs on places and wait to come back here, possibly. Wherever we exit, we might want to take note of that.
hmm.
And did you know the name of the thing you summoned that brought us here?
Uh, it was a dimensional shambler. I did not expect it to actually take us to a different dimension. Although, now that I think about it, I probably should have.
Yeah, when you say it out
But
loud
I
like
thought
that, because he shambled us to a different dimension. So
he certainly did. He certainly did. I thought away from cultists, or even if it had taken them somewhere else. Uh, this was not what I expected. But I also wasn't terribly specific. Note in case I ever need to do that again.
yeah, be making a clear terms of the contract.
Oh, there was very little contract going on, more like a desperate scream for help.
So let's be more precise in our desperate scream for help. Noted.
Rather just not summon another one again, but we'll see what happens, I suppose.
It doesn't seem to be a choice. You just reach out.
Ah, yes. I think that's what happened. Which is a bit surprising. I haven't done something like that before. Not uh, the things that I do usually take quite a bit more planning, and that did not. Something I'll probably give quite a bit more thought once we're in a physical location.
Let's focus on getting out, but let's keep our eye open.
Yes, because I'd hate to run into or over one of these moon beasts. Or we find out the city is 3 inches tall or something.
Or cat.
Now, let's
Or
be
cats.
let's be polite with cats too.
I'd rather not hit a cat, yes.
I hadn't even considered the city being 3 inches tall.
I have nothing to look at while I'm driving. I am literally just making sure that I don't drive us off of an embankment or straight into a dune. I've had very little to do but think sitting here. And it occurred to me that while he described the moon beasts, he didn't tell us how big they were. And so I started thinking, well, what if the moon beasts are very small, like the size of toads, and the cats are enormous, like the size of the Sphinx? That would definitely make someone wary.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me at this point.
He didn't tell us how big the ghouls were either, did he? Just what they were shaped like.
Whatever size they are, if they try to eat us, it's kind of unpleasant.
Yes. But that's the difference between a good pair of boots and something that devours you from the top down. But it's a relief to know that we are not, in fact, dead. And she'll look over at Gary, since he was the one that asked.
We are going to the underworld to speak with ghouls, but somehow still alive.
So we're not dead
Somehow,
yet.
I suppose. Yes. That is one way of looking at it.
I mean, the whole fucking thing is absolutely ridiculous. So, I mean, eh,
I'm at the roll with it point. Yeah.
Evelyn will definitely kind of blink and look a bit surprised at Gary's language. But
I
she
don't mean to
doesn't say
offend,
anything
but
about it.
pardon my French.
Oh, we just had one of our previous companions who probably would have scolded you for it.
If he would have that time or that luxury, we would not be in that kind of a place. I mean, scolding me for my language here is kind of pointless.
Ah, he was a gentleman.
So as you guys drive,
On the drive, I'm just sitting in the back talking a bit, but trying to envision things, trying to get the grasp on that thing. I've been promised this. I've been promised this place. They lied to me, but it exists.
Damn it!
So,
I want a coffee!
oh yeah.
Damn it, now I want a coffee. It's way
I
too
was
late for a
promised
coffee.
this place. They lied about everything, but now the place exists, so it's very upsetting for me.
Gary's probably trying to help you, but more twisting the knife than anything else.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna try to make a weapon to fight or magic to fight the creatures of the old gods, because nothing we have works, and hopefully it'll carry on in the real world. And if not, we might just have to fight something here.
I was thinking of Maybe trying to summon a golem.
Huh. That's an interesting one.
So after a couple of hours of driving across the plateau, and you do see periodically in the distance, just like these giant vulture-like creatures that will occasionally swoop down from the sky and pick up other creatures or vaguely humanoid-looking shapes. So imagine kind of like a California condor, but as a vulture. So massive wingspan. Thankfully, because you guys have this vehicle that Gary has conjured up, they are not fast enough to keep up with you. If you were traveling by foot, this would probably potentially be an issue. The car is saving you guys a good deal of difficulties. And before long, you start to come out of the kind of desolate plains of the plateau of Lang and into like a more traditional um, a more traditional kind of like sandy plains area, very reminiscent of your time in Egypt, actually.
The sandy plains of Lang.
The sandy plains of Lang, and the sky itself actually seems to brighten up considerably. The like pervasive gloom of the plateau is no longer present. And in the distance, you actually see the ruined walls of what is probably a city. These massive stone walls that are in various states of ruin, but a very large kind of from this distance, like you can see the circular curve of this ruined wall.
I think we may have found our city.
Or lack thereof, yeah.
Alvin
Or
pats Miles in the back. Good job.
very well done, given the lack of landmarks.
And are you guys like bringing your very loud car closer to the city?
Is that a hint?
Acting like that, I mean,
That sounds like a survival skill talking to me.
I mean, they're going to know we're here.
Like
We're
the only sound you hear is the rumble of your engine.
we're the probably from the description going to be the only waking people here.
Yes,
Did
but
he tell
stealthing
us?
around is less effective if everyone can hear you from outside the city.
I didn't realize we were stealthing.
Depends
Is
how much we
that
want to
our
Chat.
move
plan?
those movies.
Well,
well, I'm sorry. I mean, I didn't mean that car to be that loud, but
no, I think anything. Our footsteps will probably seem loud if it's this kind of empty.
silence, terrible.
It is sort of oppressive, isn't it?
And even the rumble of your engine feels like sounds flat. There's no echo.
There's nothing for it to echo off of. I can't say that I'm eager to stay here.
That and the fact that the other world that we're trying to help not explode is kind of a prerequisite for this world to stay.
And it has coffee. And
I
yes,
mean,
it is absolutely necessary.
if every world was not hanging on the balance of disappearing, I might just want to explore this place. But for that to be an option, we gotta save the world first.
If we made it out of this alive, I will never play poker again. Blackjack, backgammon, craps, yes, but never
But no
poker.
poker.
Why not poker?
Because that damn lawyer that used to be with Jackson, Elias, won
Right.
that game and I had no money to pay him.
Oh,
That sounds like a good reason to swear off poker.
I must have been asleep, maybe?
I mean,
Unfocused.
Not here, Evelyn.
I mean, Gary had to be embroiled in our business in some way or another.
And
I suppose,
as delighted I am by your company, especially here, it was not by choice.
yes. I could see exploring this place with functional legs and the right company, possibly. But it would really need to be the right company. And functional legs.
I say we leave the car behind and we go in the city.
Worried about attracting attention?
I'm worried about attracting all the attention.
All right.
Yeah, we've been kind of nonchalant about it, but it's a goddamn forsaken place.
I mean, depending on the size of the streets, we could probably outrun anything that would chase us. But that does depend on the condition of the streets. If there are streets. And whether the inside is as ruined as the outside wall looks like it might be.
I mean, I will follow because my particular skill set is kind of unhelpful here.
Chris, we leave the car behind and we start approaching the city.
Okay.
How do we, like, can you describe the city and how do we stay away from any denizens? And do we have any idea where in the city the staircase would be?
You don't know where the staircase might be. But as you approach the city, so it was a walled city, but the walls are broken. There are 6 gates around the city, each of which has like a giant, had a giant stone sphinx kind of standing over the gate. Those are also have been shattered. But each of the gates leads onto like these like very broad streets littered with rubble and debris, all of which seem to lead in the same direction, probably towards a central plaza. So if you think of like it's a wall, it's circular round city. So if you think of it as like spokes of a wheel all leading to a central hub. There are the ruins of buildings everywhere. It looks like this place has been destroyed quite a while ago. Actually, you can give me an archaeology roll.
Dr. Carter would have a field day here. Wait.
Archaeology?
Archaeology.
Oh, this will be funny. Only missed it by 60.
So yeah,
Sorry.
everything looks old, but you can't place it.
This year, he said that it would ease your mind if you were brought here. Maybe we could bring our friend from the mental hospital here, and they'd be fine.
First,
Oh,
we need to get out.
oh,
You're
maybe
right,
they
but I don't know, but it might work. Let's focus on getting out, but Dr. Carter would have a field day here.
Mm.
So as you start making your way down one of these wide plazas, the stone, a lot of the stone seems to be kind of like a very dark gray. Definitely not like granite or anything like that. A much darker coloration. But I will get everybody to give me listen rolls and spot hidden rolls.
Those are some really nice shoes.
Oh my god, I made my first roll of the night.
I
It took
spotted
2.5
something, but I don't.
hours.
I spotted something, but I didn't hear anything.
All right.
I think I rolled spot hidden twice. I just ignore my second spot hidden roll. I'll make a listen roll instead.
Okay, gotcha. Right. So Eugene made the spot hidden, and then Evelyn and Alvin made the list. Okay. So Eugene, as you're making your way down this this wide boulevard, kind of picking your way through the rubble because it is strewn everywhere. It looks like if you didn't know better, you would swear like a bomb hit this city. There's like broken debris everywhere. All of it's stone. Like anything that was wooden or fabric or anything is long since rotted away.
Why would you say if he's known better? As far as he knows, a bomb did hit this place.
Yeah. But you spot kind of like towards the central hub where this road seems to be leading, what looks like an intact structure. Basically a very kind of like low circular wall with an arched entrance and a kind of like a very shallow roof. Evelyn,
Aren't we supposed to be looking for an arch?
you're looking for a stairwell. Evelyn and Alvin, you guys hear the sound of something wet and slimy and very, very large moving in that same direction.
Evelyn's going to look at Alvin.
Yeah, that's not good.
I might have been wrong about the sizes. That does not sound small. Nor does it sound like a cat.
I'm going to tell everyone to hide. I'm going to try to take a closer look.
All right. You're going to sneak forward?
I shall.
Or are you just walking forward?
I am stealthing forward.
Make a stealth roll.
Success.
All right. Perfect. And give me a power roll.
What?
You will yourself to be invisible.
I mean, here, who knows?
I didn't regain magic points even though we were driving for a long time.
You regain 1 an hour, so you would have regained like 3. So as you start to like edge your way forward towards this relatively intact looking building, and it's probably about this circular wall. This low circular wall is probably, in your estimate, but maybe 30 feet in diameter. And as you get closer, that wet squelching sound is getting louder. Sounds like several wet things hitting cement. And you hear this
Towards me, patrolling,
like as you're getting closer to that area, the sound is getting louder. It is definitely emanating from that small building. And you hear this voice in your head saying like, come closer. It has been a while since I've been fed. And you find yourself, for a very brief moment, starting to like move out of the shadows you've been sticking to just walk towards this voice. But then you stop and kind of pull yourself back and do not succumb to the voice.
and come backwards to the group. There is something that wants to eat us in there. And it almost did. It speaks straight into your mind. We need to avoid that place.
Did you see anything that looked like a staircase?
I did not get close enough. I did not want to get eaten.
Understandable.
It took control of my legs first.
Let's go explore some other place. Let's not go where the big purple people eating monster is.
Sounds like sage advice.
So you're going to start to spread out and investigate away from this intact building.
Seems
Yes.
like it.
I mean, it's the only option we have right now.
Right. And I will get whoever has the lowest luck can give me a luck roll.
47.
58.
Oh, I know it's me. It's 15.
Oh, there you go.
Like, I know it's me. I absolutely know it's me. I somehow managed to not gain luck last game, even at 15. So, give me a second.
15? Like 1-5?
1-5.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not making that roll. Like,
Yeah, yeah. Now that you mention it, I remember us comparing you to Tony and Luther's luck rolls.
yeah, because I was unlucky to the point where even at 15 luck roll, I didn't manage to get more back. So that was very Tony of me.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's nice.
Oh. Yes, but no.
All right, and I will get spot hidden rolls from people.
Oh dear. Save us, Alvin. You're our only hope.
Let's see if I see shoes again.
Oh, Miles. Miles will be saving us. Definitely won't be me.
Neither do I.
You're
Oh,
way better than me at spotting
I'm
things. You just roll like crap.
succeeded one roll all night long.
Oh,
I haven't been able to make one single dreaming roll that I'm supposed to be good at this.
All right.
my shoelace is untied.
So, Miles and Eugene, you kind of take a look, and as you're kind of like spreading through this city, trying to find this staircase, you are being followed. And the things that are following you do not look remotely human. They are very large, like not. They're probably about the size of like a grizzly bear standing on its hind legs. But they have like these long tentacly faces, very long kind of claws, clutching spears. I'm gonna need both of you to give me sanity checks.
Sorry, tall like a grizzly bear and
Yeah, basically they are like moon beasts.
Apparently, moon beasts are not small.
they got tentacles.
They have tentacle faces. There's a picture in the foundry.
Tentacle faces, and they're carrying spears, so they make weapons and use.
Apparently. Yeah. Seer didn't mention weapons.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I'll need a sanity check. Oh, perfect. Oh, both of you succeed. You do not freak out at the sight of these things. But there seems to be 4 of them following you, and it looks like they're trying to get into a position where they can get the jump on you.
Um, they are trying to surround us. There's something is hunting us right now. We need to speed up or go into a defensible spot. I regret to inform you, Miss Collins, but the moon beasts are not tiny like a frog. We need to get moving.
That's a pity.
Oh, yes, very much so. I'm gonna try to spot somewhere that we could fit through, but they wouldn't, so we can use that to like go through and block them, so we could gain enough time to like lose them.
Yeah, I'm just checking what size people are.
Oh, I'm huge. That might be a problem.
Yeah, they're actually not much bigger than Eugene. They definitely look like a little bit more muscular, but size-wise, they're probably about the same.
So my plan
Is
won't
the
work
size of a
because I'm
grizzly
too
bear on
big.
its hind tails, on its hind.
still gonna try to look for some defensible position so we can like keep a siege.
Are you walking nonchalantly, or are you breaking into a run?
I warn the others of the fact that we were hunted, and then I start looking for a spot. But I'm trying to like not give them the info that I spotted that we were hunted, so that they don't break into a sprint.
Okay.
So nonchalantly.
So the area that you're in, it's all like ruined buildings and the like. All kinds of like nooks and crannies that you could tuck into if you would like to try to either get into a defensible position or hide and hope they pass you by.
I'm gonna try to guide people towards something like that, where we could like hunker down.
Alvin lets himself be hit.
Okay. So you guys can give me stealth rolls. Anybody who's trying to hide can give you stealth rolls. If you want to do something else, then
I would like to, but I have the feeling I'm going to fail this roll.
Is that everybody that needs to do that?
everybody who would like to try to hide can make a stealth roll.
Oh, I can really fail that one too.
Wow. Did we even bring Gary?
Say loud.
Right. So Alvin and Gary get hidden.
We did the moonwalk.
And everybody else, as you start to like move around, you guys can like move yourself around on the map where you'd like to be. Just as a note, though, that three of you are not hidden.
Well, if we don't manage to hide, maybe getting behind something so we could defend ourselves.
Okay. And just imagine like all of these buildings don't have actual roofs. It's all just rubble.
It won't let me move him more, but I'm in that or under that cart there.
Okay.
I'm under.
And
I am in the middle of the street.
and anybody with a firearm, if you wanted to draw your weapon as soon as Eugene and Miles pointed out the trouble, you certainly can do so.
Do I still have
Absolutely.
a gun?
No, I took your gun, it jammed,
Okay,
and I
good.
threw it at the dimensional shambler, so I only have my gun left.
All right.
Anybody else drawing their weapon as they get into hiding?
Yep.
I'm keep drawing out my weapon.
Well,
Alvin does.
get my knife.
Okay. Right. Perfect.
I do not have stats for it though.
Oh, you don't have stats for a knife. One second.
Those nice magic knife.
There we go. Ooh, magic knife. All right. Miles, you were up first. You see these things. You've already seen them. You've already made your sanity check, and they seem to be kind of like the tentacles in their face seem to be kind of like flicking out like snake tongues, kind of testing the air, but there's like 4 or 5 of them all moving individually. And they have definitely spotted some of you because they seem to be moving in the direction you and Evelyn and Eugene are.
All right, I'm going to try to shoot the nearest one.
Okay.
I forget, do I have to click on them before I shoot?
Yeah. If you mouse over it and hit T to target it, it should hopefully do all the math. I realize we like rarely do combat and rarely use battle maps, so fingers crossed that Foundry does the things it should do.
I'm getting that thing about unable to calculate distance. I thought I clicked.
Yeah, that's the thing on my end. Right. There you go. You should be good to go.
Sorry, do I click the weapon or the skill in the combat tab?
Click the weapon, and then in the chat tab, see where it says roll firearms.
Oh, okay. I assume because I see that yellow box that I made a mistake. So, okay. So, what do I click here then? The roll firearms?
Yep.
How much luck have I got? I got 36. So I'm going to spend it.
Okay.
Sorry, how do I spend the luck again?
Left click on the result, and it should pull up.
When I left click, it just says tens die 80.
Yep. Just mouse down a little bit.
Okay, thanks.
Yep. So yeah, a crack rings out. It's very muted. It doesn't echo the way that you would expect it to. Like the sound is dead. And the bullet slams in this thing. Huge gouts of this like thick blackish red ichor start to flow out of its wounded limb. It almost drops to the ground, but scrambles back to its feet, kind of pulls itself up. They are bipedal creatures; they're not quadrupeds. But you definitely injured it.
Chris, two
Yes.
questions.
Yep.
Does you said that the gunshot sounds dead? Does it carry still?
It's like there's like a loud snap, but there's no echo.
Okay. Secondly, when you said that it gets back up and it's bipedal, does it get up like goo, or does it get up like it has a musculature and a skeleton?
It definitely has a musculature and a skeleton.
Okay. The pictures led me to question all these things. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem. That's why I wanted to specify that they were bipedal, because the picture looks like they might be quadrupeds, but they are in fact tool using bipeds. Actually, no, sorry, it is knocked prone because it was a major wound, so it is in fact prone. My bad. It tries to get up and then falls again. Ichor like oozing out of that wound. Alvin, you're up. But now that you see this thing in all its glory, you can give me a sanity roll.
Sorry, what?
Right. Just Alvin's up. What would you like to do?
Sorry, who?
Sorry, I'm not pushing my push to talk button.
Yeah.
I meant to ask, does he get a benefit to like cover or whatever if he's prone to my farm?
No, he doesn't. You actually get a bonus die to hit him.
But then he is screwed.
Kind of like roll around under the cart, bring up the just give me 1 second. You need a bonus die. What is it? There we go. Right. That is enough to drop that creature. So yeah, you kind of like roll, brace your shot, fire off right into the what you're going to refer to as the head of this thing, as it drops from Miles' shot, and it kind of explodes in a bunch of goop and ichor.
And I collapse backwards towards Miles, who's
Okay.
already reloading, I assume.
Both Miles and Eugene have like lever action rifles, so they each hold 5 shots. So, since I know it rarely comes up, but in combat you can move and you can do a single action, which means if you need to reload, that is your thing that you do. You can try to like slam one bullet in and fire, but you're at a penalty die to do so. Eugene, you're up.
I mean, I not. We're in the dream world. Those could have been friendly, but they seem to have been hunting us, and we have started hostility. So I'm gonna follow up with that with more hostility.
Okay.
Is it left click or right click to select someone?
Just hit T on your keyboard.
Oh yeah, that's the part I was missing.
Lots of playing Pathfinder recently. It's the same thing.
Unable to calculate distance.
Yeah, I don't know why it's saying range of 0 yards.
Do I need to make single shot?
Yes.
Doesn't. It's red for now.
Okay.
Don't know why it's red.
Yeah, that's the single shot is the one that's selected. So just click the,
I cannot click on single shot. It doesn't work for now. Like it's red, but it doesn't do anything.
Red means that's the option that's selected. So you don't have to click
Also,
that. Just down at the bottom where it says roll firearms.
oh, okay. I know what to do.
Yep. You can just
I think it works.
Yep, and then just click roll damage.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I don't do that often.
We like hardly ever do combat, and then when we do, we hardly ever use battle maps. Right, so again, the shot rings out, catches the creature, does not knock it to the ground, but it is definitely bleeding profusely.
Landed.
That will take us to Gary.
Gary hides.
Right, Gary is hidden.
And if you have an occasion to stab something, you'll try, but I don't know anything about fighting.
Yeah, you're just like, I found a safe spot, nothing can see me. I'm just gonna back to the wall, knife out just in case.
Yep.
Moon Beast. It is going to, the wounded one is going to lurch forward, and then it is going to throw its spear at Evelyn. She's there in the middle of the road.
Yeah.
You can choose to use your action to dodge if you would like.
I would very much like. Yes.
This is going to turn into one of those situations where someone's going to turn to Evelyn later and say, next time we get into a fight, how about you don't stand in the middle?
I tried to hide. Sorry, do I just
movement.
click
If I stay
dodging?
still, they won't see me.
Yep, just click dodging. Yep.
Okay.
Your mighty 12% dodge.
Yeah. Maybe somebody can dream up a hospital.
Maybe. If there's probably one in one of the cities that he mentioned.
Do I have to do something else?
Down at the bottom where it says dodge 12%.
Oh, okay. Oh.
That one is going to go. It is going to throw a spear at Miles. Through the rubble. It is probably going to miss. So yeah, spear clatters off of some of the rubble. It's like watching these things. I mean, they look intimidating. They're not super dangerous, really. And when he throws the spear, it's like when you watch, like, because I've been watching a lot of like original Star Trek with Anita. It's like when Spock and Kirk are like throwing spears, and somebody just kind of like tosses a spear from off camera, and it lands like haphazardly somewhere vaguely near Miles.
How has Miles' shirt suddenly gotten torn, even though he didn't get hit?
Right. Evelyn, you've used your action to dodge, but you can move if you would like.
Yes, I would like to try to move to a place where they can't hit me with a spear.
Okay. Move a 7 so you can move like 14 yards on this map. So, where would you like to move to?
I would like to move over this way. Yeah, that looks fine.
All right. Perfect. All right. And those of you who are now seeing these things for the first time, so everybody who has not already made a sanity check for them can make a sanity check.
Oh dear.
Where it's at this point, I think is just Evelyn and Gary.
That's not good.
Yep.
This is where even in her dreams she goes crazy.
I was going to say the Dreamlands don't protect us from sanity rolls, I guess.
So I have to roll it, right?
Yes.
And what if I don't want to?
You can close your eyes and not look.
Ha! It's less ugly than my cousin.
Right. Perfect. So, Evelyn, as you start to run, you find it's weird. Like your phobia doesn't trigger. Your underlying insanity doesn't trigger. You don't let out that involuntary scream or drop something, whatever. But as this creature starts to come towards you and throws its spear towards you, and you turn to run, the distance just seems to stretch on for like infinity.
Oh no.
So from this point forward, you are actually incapable of movement.
Oh no.
Like everywhere you go, everything just stretches out. Like you run and you run and you run and you run, but you don't actually make any distance.
It's kind of like the opposite of like
Yeah.
you can never reach somewhere because you always have to cross half the distance, but so you can't even start because you have to cross half the distance.
Yep.
Yeah.
And because sanity losses in the Dreamlands actually warp the Dreamlands.
Uh-huh. That makes sense.
Miles, you're up.
So I will try to shoot the one with a 4 beside it. Sorry, what do I click again? Just click it?
Just mouse over it and hit T. And then I will do the range calculations on my end.
Okay.
All right, should be good to go. Ooh, a hard success. Awesome.
Do I just roll damage or is it dodge or
Yep. No, monsters don't dodge. So you can just roll damage. It is not quite down. It is still scrambling. It no longer has its spear because it threw that at Evelyn, but it is still scrambling around. That will take us to Elvin.
Does it still look like it has murder in its heart?
Oh, yes. These creatures do not seem like they're the type to sit down and chat.
I can't push a firearms roll, can
You can, yes. Oh, wait, no, you can't push combat roll, sorry. You can only spend luck.
I? Sorry. Okay. I'm good.
Okay. Eugene.
Is trying to dream something a full action, or is that something I can do while trying to stay alive?
No, it is a full action.
Okay. Well, the gun seems to be working.
Yeah, your firearms seem to work perfectly fine. I mean, your car worked fine too, so.
Yeah. Just I'm leveling my desperation, trying to
Yep.
see where I'm sitting with that.
All right. Oh, that is.
That was not the good type of gun, but apparently it worked.
Okay. What's your right?
Normally I have a 65 in rifle. Was not the right skill, but
Just give me 1 sec. That might have been an extreme success. 65 would be 32. Yes, that would have been an extreme success. So that is more than enough to kill a thing. That'd be a critical success. So.
okay.
So
Max damage plus the dice.
Still, yeah, 12 plus 2d6 damage. Okay. Gary, you are still safely hidden.
Brave,
Well-
brave for Gary.
I mean,
Sorry, go ahead.
I'll try to move stealthily.
Okay.
I just have something to fight close quarter, and I mean, I don't want to fight close quarter with those guys.
Perfect. So yeah, you move up a little bit. The moon beasts, somewhat frightened by this strange thing, these strange weapons, they are actually going to head. They're going to leave. But you do hear them kind of like shouting out in some language. What you assume are probably like, the equivalent of intruders or something of that nature. Like just kind of the way that they're running and kind of shouting indicates that they are calling others. Evelyn.
Mm-hmm.
What would you like to do?
I would like to run, but that's not happening.
Well, you can run. You just don't seem to be getting anywhere.
I just can't. Yeah. Yep, that's what I'm doing.
Okay.
Running so hard, getting nowhere.
Okay. Miles, what would you like to do? It's evident to you as a kind of big game hunter that they've basically been scared off, but like many pack hunters, they will return in greater numbers.
So I'm curious, does it look to the rest of us like Evelyn's even moving, or is she like just standing in place, or
She is actually moving. She just doesn't seem to actually. She's almost like a mime, almost like doing the walk in place sort of thing.
oh crap, she's become the worst evil of all.
French.
I was going to leave it at mime, but because I like France and that. But anyways, all right, lady, and I, Evelyn, and gentlemen. I think we have a very short window before they come back in greater numbers, like a pack of hyenas going to get reinforcements. So we need a plan, and we need to get the heck out of here.
That seems like a great idea.
So
So
far,
someone
no
needs
clues
to
of
help
the.
Ms. Collins because she seems to be either deciding to take up a new career as a mime or she's having some difficulties right now.
Miss Collin, do you let us help you?
I need to get away, and I can't get away. Everything's
Go
moving.
toward her and try to pick her up as delicately as I can. See if I can move her.
And just for Evelyn's or for Anita,
Yeah.
you don't feel like you need to run away, but when you try to run away, you don't make any distance.
Okay. I'm trying to move, and I'm not going anywhere.
And if we move her,
Yeah, let me see if I can move you.
Yeah, that works
Get you,
perfectly fine.
get you unstuck. If I like pick her up and like place her back on the ground, can she move, or do I need to make her move all the way?
No, what you basically kind of like reset her parameters, her reality kind of shifts back into where it should be.
Eugene delicately pick her up and put her back on the ground next to where she was.
She'll take a tentative step or two forward, just to see if she can.
snap back to
Yep.
reality. Oh,
Oh, there goes gravity.
Just keep it to less than 10 seconds so we don't get dinged.
That's why we alternate. We don't do the part with one person, so it's like 10 seconds each.
Perfect. All right. But yes, Evelyn, once they kind of like reset you, everything seems to just like go back to the way it should be.
What was that?
I have no idea. We don't have any clue on where the staircase is, and those things are coming back. Are we trying to run for the staircase, or are we going out of the city to hide and come back later?
I think hiding within the city would be more prudent if we think our objective is within the city.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay, let's quickly try to find a hiding spot.
So yeah, as you guys kind of like vacate this area, hoping that the moon beasts don't come back in greater numbers, we will call it there. We'll pick up next time with you guys continuing to explore this ruined city and finding the stairwell to the underworld.
Thanks for the game.
Yeah, it's weird because the Dreamlands are something that it's like it's really in depth, but it's so freaking bizarre.
Yep.
It is.
Yep, it is.
It is. It is Lovecraft's like weird fantasy shit.
Somehow it brings back to my character story in a way that I didn't expect at all.
Yeah. I mean, the stories are great, but they are very much not. They're not part of the Cthulhu mythos. Like Dream Quest of Unknown Cat. No, Dream Quest. Yeah, Doom that Came to Sarnath and Cats of Ulthar. I think are the three big stories, and they're great stories. But if you go looking for like mythos stuff, it is not. It is 1920s fantasy. Perfect.
Weird as hell.
But
I didn't think it would ever come into play, so I
But we're
felt
not
fine
dead.
to put it. I feel fine to put into my background, but here I am.
well, see, part of me I thought like, oh, maybe Evelyn will just try to summon another dimensional shambler and say like, take us home.
I thought about that,
Yeah, Evelyn.
but my thinking was let's try the other way first. Like before we start summoning things again, and we end up somewhere else again.
I'm thinking I've only got so much power, and I have a big ritual I need to do. So I need to save some of that.
Oh, speaking of though, because this will probably be important. Everybody gains 7 sanity for defeating the moon beasts.
Ooh. Even me?
Everybody.
Holy shit.
You guys were attacked by these hideous monstrosities, and you actually were like, no, fuck them. And managed to prove that you could actually do something. Maybe it's just something about the Dreamlands, but it emboldens you.
And we gained how much? Sorry, 14?
7.
7. Okay. I need
Sorry,
to
Chris.
wait.
I rolled luck twice. My first one succeeded. My second one failed. So,
Okay, you're fine then. I don't have to readjust anything.
but I
Hey!
can't get to my sanity because we're in development.
Yep. Once everybody's done, I think everybody's done their luck. Okay. There we go. Now you should be able to add the 7 sanity on.
Yay! Does that change my daily?
No, but your daily would have reset. So,
Okay.
technically, you don't rest, but you don't sleep in the Dreamlands, but you can still rest. So I'll do that.
Okay.
God damn it! I'm back at max sanity.
Alvin is like the most put together guy. Like,
Holy.
you know, Alvin has seen shit. He's like, you know, come face to face like with Nyarlathotep and traveled to other places. He's like, I got this.
Cigarettes and alcohol, man.
Chris,
Yep.
why does my daily sanity lowered?
Mine did too.
Because you cannot will a cheeseburger.
It
Yeah.
went from 8 to 7. Or
Yeah,
sorry,
it went from
Yeah.
Mine went from 13 to 12. my daily allowance?
It's based off of a percentage of what your actual sanity is, so maybe just recalculating
Oh,
things. But for Alvin, for Jaime, if you've never seen it, there's a movie from like the late '80s called "Cast a Deadly Spell," and it's like a noir detective thing set in a world where magic is real. And Fred Ward, who's a great actor, guy that was in Tremors with Kevin Bacon, plays a detective named H.P. Lovecraft. Not the Lovecraft, just named after him. So it's an entire world where everybody does a little bit of magic except for him.
Sounds familiar.
And then it's done like a 1940s style like noir drama type thing. The 80s special effects are iffy, but the movie is so great. Just ignore the sequel that doesn't have him in it.
what's
Fair.
the name of the movie?
It's called Cast a Deadly Spell.
Okay.
I'll
There's
Found that on a streaming service anywhere?
I don't know. Might be on like Amazon tends to have some of those older movies sometimes.
My favorite one of that is like late 80s, early 90s. Is it late 80s and early 90s? It was In the Mouth of Madness.
That is phenomenal.
That is such a good movie.
It's like one
That
of
is what I am. That is what I imagine our game looks like, except set in the 20s.
Yeah.
Like that
Yeah.
whole thematic around it.
It's a great like mythos movie. Like Carpenter like went through a little bit of a dry spell, and then he started like with In the Mouth of Madness and They Live are amazing films. And if nobody has seen They Live,
Definitely.
you owe it to yourself to watch They Live.
Absolutely
I
should.
think that's on
Oh, yeah.
Netflix.
They Live is great.
It has like an 11-minute fight scene between the two heroes. And if you've ever heard the line like "I've come to kick ass and chew bubblegum and I'm all out of bubblegum,"
That's where it's from.
it's from that film.
Yeah, and Roddy Piper.
Mm-hmm.
Rowdy.
Did you see the Mountain of Madness, the one you really liked, Jamie?
In the Mouth of Madness. À l'intérieur de la bouche.
De la
Mouth of Madness.
folie.
But my favorite line is such a. If you haven't watched the movie, it makes no sense because it's such a common thing to say. It's, have I ever
Have you
mentioned my favorite color is blue? And your brain explodes at that point.
It's like if you ever watched the old 60s television show The Prisoner, when people say "be seeing you" has an entirely different context.
Have you read Sutter Kane?
Have you read Sutter Kane?
Have you read Sutter Kane?
Excellent movie. All right, so
Bicycle sequence, man. The bicycle sequence messes me up.
Oh,
Out of the
that
entire
road
movie,
that doesn't end. Yes.
The bicycle sequence disturbs me the most.